guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the pay to win account and I'm answering a question that I've gotten quite a bit is when it comes to the Rangers, which artifacts are we looking to equip on them? Now really it does depend with the dual Divinity, the brand new artifact that we got. It really took a backseat to some of the other artifacts, but it also went above and beyond other classes of the artifacts. So we're just going to run through the heroes really quick and kind of cover the artifacts that I would put on them. And again, some of the artifacts are situational. So what does that mean? So looking through the artifacts, the dual divinity artifact in particular, enemy or your hero has to be on the enemy side of the battlefield. So that is a stipulation to trigger the artifact's effect. If you have a hero that does not go on the enemy side, that is not going to make a difference. The Shroud. So the Shroud is another one. It grants a hero a shield. Any heroes that are taking burst damage right at the beginning, it could possibly be better for. The big thing to remember with this is it does negate a lot of the crowd control. So when you have other hero or enemy heroes that have a lot of crowd control, this shield can actually block a lot of the crowd control, which does play as a very beneficial piece. Again, situational on the team that you're playing. The other one, of course, is the Verdant Longbow for straight up damage. This is the go-to artifact because of its very high attack bonus, as you see there. And then, of course, the effect is triggered every 3 normal attacks. So some of our ranger classes that do have a lot of normal attacks are perfect for this. It makes me think of like Raku, and it makes me think of Gwen. So we're just going to run through, and again, this is my personal preference, guys. You might have a complete different lineup of artifacts. Prince of Persia, dual divinity, absolutely, guys. He goes straight to the enemy side when we get into battle, provides a lot of crowd control. In addition, with it doing the attack rating bonus, is remember, when he does his ult, not only does it stun, but it does AoE damage, so that increases his damage significantly. Leica, of course, I would go Verdant Longbow, again, putting the Shroud on her if you have issues with the enemy team having crowd control. But overall, because she does not move, she stays on the allied side. The Verdant Longbow is a solid choice for her. Iran, kind of mixed. Sometimes I do the Longbow on him. Sometimes, again, I do the Shroud. And the big thing with him is, remember, he will pull the enemies to him, so you know he's going to take damage. The additional amount of survivability he gets from the Shroud can make a difference in the beginning. And it also does give a boost to the attack rating, as you can see there, and to the HP. So the survivability of him, if he does the 5 pull and he dies the moment he does the 5 pull, it's not very efficient. You want at least the slow. You want the crowd control that he has with his plus 30 signature item to really slow down the enemy team. So either one of those on him. This one, again, depending on the crowd control, but ultimately I would go with the Longbow on Pharrell because he has range, because he has damage. Even when he ults, he will go back to the allied side, so he is not going to be one of your frontline heroes, but the Shroud will work on him if you need to mitigate that crowd control or if he's dying really fast. Joker, I would keep the Shroud on him. He's a hero that does not survive very well on the enemy side, and crowd control is really a big trigger for him. Remember, you have to have crowd control on your team to trigger his effect. So the Shroud on him overall is what I keep on Joker, just because of his design and his layout. That is my first choice. Ezio, I actually run him usually with the Call, because remember, Ezio's most powerful attribute that we see is his ultimate ability, guys. I'm not too worried about the amount of damage that Ezio is putting out with the blade, with the Longbow, things of that nature. I want this, and I want this to ult as soon as possible so he can continue to take out the enemy team. Setting him up with a Call just kind of poses him as a finisher in the battle, and that's what I really rely on him for, is being the finisher within the battle. With Gwen, again, with the Verdant Longbow, absolutely, because she does quite a bit more damage, and remember, her normal attacks are the big one that do the damage. Now, again, if you're dealing with teams with crowd control, the Shroud will work great for her. Drez is a hero, even though he does go to the enemy side of the battlefield, he only does after he ults. Due to that, I would probably put either the Shroud or the Longbow on him. Dual Divinity might not be the best artifact, just for the simple fact, again, if you have him in the back row, he will use his slingshot and he will not go onto the enemy side until he ults. Remember, dual divinity, you only get 35 seconds, guys, and then this buff that you get from it is gone. It does not come back. You have the crit and the amplification, but ultimately, after 35 seconds of battle, the buff from the dual divinity is gone. So the longbow, in my opinion, again, will be more beneficial for Dres. Titus, absolutely dual divinity, guys. He goes straight to the enemy, even pushing them back, even with this Furious Howl. Dual divinity, absolutely for him. Same with Kelthar. Kelthar's a hero. If you're not running him within the Thorn Cheese comp, which we do use the call on him, absolutely, I would go dual divinity. We know 100% he is going straight to the enemy side because that's the nature. That is his skill. Falk's longbow or the Shroud. Kren longbow, absolutely the Verdant Longbow. He is super powerful with the Verdant Longbow because he stays at range. Even when he ults, he goes back to the allied side, so he'll go ahead and ult. If he does by chance get over to the enemy side, he will move back similar to Pharrell, right kind of towards that middle area and do his ultimate ability. Lucretia, I like the longbow on her because she attacks absolutely, she attacks so fast, but also ignoring their defense rating every 3 normal attacks, really strong. This makes a very strong hero such as Lucretia even stronger with that longbow. That is the reason that so many players put that on her. Dual divinity could work, but a lot of times she runs around the battlefield, she chases heroes around, and you don't really have that many issues with her survivability. I want the pure damage that we pull out from the longbow. Raku, again, if you're having issues with the crowd control, the Shroud is good, but he will be another one that is going to go right to the longbow. He stays in the back. He does a lot of damage to maximize his damage, especially with his normal attacks. Absolutely the longbow. Athalia is the dual divinity. So changing up a little bit there. Remember, in the very beginning of battle, she is going to use, I believe it's a judgment ability. She is going to go right onto the enemy side, allowing her to start stacking attack rating right off the bat. And then with all of her abilities, it will actually stack a couple more. I believe it stacks even here. Defense rating goes up, but you can increase her attack rating, which is good because it is stacking with the dual divinity, making it very powerful. Kaz is another hero. Dual divinity, she goes right to the enemy side. Theowen, kind of, I like her with the longbow, but I think the longbow ultimately is going to stay on her. Remember, her you don't have to worry about much of the survivability aspect, such as the Shroud, because she does go kind of crowd control immune when she attaches onto another target, allowing her to do more damage with that longbow. Nakaruru goes to the enemy side. I would do dual divinity. Again, if you have issues with survivability, the Shroud you can deal with as well. Cecilia, dual divinity, absolutely, guys. We know the start of battle, she is going to start on the enemy side of the battlefield, just stacking her attack rating, stacking her damage mitigation. In addition, with some of her abilities, she brings her own mitigation over there, which is only going to be further by the amount that the artifact gives her. Oscar, don't use him. If you're going to use him in the tower, put whatever on him. I'm not really too worried about that. Thane, I would go dual divinity as well. Simple fact, the attack rating boost, the damage reduction, and Thane is very reliant on critical strikes, guys. When you look at all of his abilities, it is the critical strike aspect of Thane which drives his damage and drives it super high. Verk, longbow as well. Respin, I would do Shroud if you're worried about crowd control, but ultimately longbow on Respin as well. And then I believe that is it, guys. So again, just a quick recap. I got a couple questions about the new artifact. Got a couple questions about the Ranger heroes specifically. I know Zekas is in here too. I believe he stays at range, which would make me think the longbow. I'm not sure if dual divinity, he's going to be on the allied side or going to be attacking up first. Never built him, never used him, but ultimately that is your decision. So guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Again, just a very quick rundown with the new artifact and the Ranger heroes that I'm using it on. So again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.